Good evening, all, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Cryptic
Hello.
and Adam.
Oh, hi.
And then, of course, I'm the keeper for the night, as it is once again Friday. Sanguine. How are both of you doing tonight?
I'm all right. It's been a long week, but I'm all right. How about you, Adam?
You know, it has been a long week, but at the same end, it kind of felt like it was a shorter week. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, no. But it's you know what? At the end of the day, or at the end of the week, hey, um, I'm glad I get to chat with both of you on this stream. So I'm I I think I've been looking forward to that, and maybe that's why it's been a short week. But yeah, hey, here we are.
It's always fun, and it's a nice de-stressor from the normal, hectic bullshit of life, right?
Dude, but I'm looking at Cryptic's avatar, and I hate to say it, but like, dude, I want to.
You want to eat my meat, don't you?
Yeah, and I don't want to say that, but
You want to eat that
Especially not
juicy
saying
meat?
it that way.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, dude, yeah, it was a, you know what, it was a good week, and you know what, we get to hang out and chat with our good buddies, and son of a bitch, that's a nice looking steak, and I want to food this steak.
Oh
What the
yeah.
fuck?
You want to be that salt? No,
You
you want to be that. No,
Get out of here.
You want to be that salt that just penetrate my meat.
All right, I'm gonna have to take out these earbuds because it's.
Given what we were talking about before the show of dry brining, apparently Adam Cryptic wants you to penetrate him over the course of 24 to 48 hours, nice and slow, making sure that you fill him out thorough.
Hey, we're supposed to be a family show here.
Fuck that, it's my night.
I know. We're talking about meat tonight. I mean,
When has my night ever been family friendly?
We're talking about meat tonight.
Let's talk.
Dude, we are off to a good start.
Let's talk about meat, baby. Let's talk about meat. I'm sorry. I couldn't finish that.
No, that was good.
This is effectively a continuation of what we were talking about right before the show, so might as well tie in the rest of the conversation. We were talking about travel, food, and drinking before the show.
Yes.
In particular, we were talking about yakiniku places, Japanese bars, and there's two aspects of Japanese bars I wish we would get in America. I wish that we had the little nisakayas, those just hole-in-the-wall 10-people bars.
I've been to many of those.
Oh, yeah. They are the best bars, hands down. If you just want a nice, comfortable drinking place and some decent grub as you drink, just find one of those little holes in the wall, and you're set.
Yeah, so, like, there's this place. She opens maybe 2-3 times a week, right?
Yep.
When I was in Okinawa, like she what she did is like she makes local food, right? So what she does is she opens. I think she opens every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday only, ever, right? So what she does is she does a fucking awesome miso soup. Oh my god, it's like best miso soup I ate my whole life, right? Authentic miso soup. And then she does the best yakisoba you will ever eat in your life. Like people don't understand like yakisoba doesn't have to like Japanese food doesn't have to be like soupy you know ramen and bullshit, right?
Oh, yeah, and yakisoba, which, for those who don't know, Yaki, anytime that you hear yaki in a Japanese word, like yakisoba, yakiniku, yakitori, it means grilled.
Mm-hmm.
So soba is a type of noodle. Yakisoba is this kind of like stir-fried on a very hot grill style of noodle, which
Right.
sometimes, depending on the area, sometimes it's a little bit crunchy and crispy. Sometimes it's a bit less so and just nice and saucy, with the sauce really adhering to every section of the noodle. But it's not soupy. It's always very tight and just amazing.
Yakitori, yakisoba. Oh my fucking god! Like if you get the right people that make the food,
Mm-hmm.
it's freaking delicious. Like
Yep.
yeah. I used to like do drunk because I used to go clubbing in Japan. After the club, like at 4 o'clock in the morning. By the way, in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
the club doesn't close until the last fucking person leave.
Oh yeah.
And there's days when I was like, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting like taco rice and cheese and yakisoba and yakitoris and shit.
Mm-hmm. And then
By the way,
you of course hit up like a Yoshinoya after in order to get your post-drink grub on, right?
yes, I did plenty of times. Yeah, and like, oh man, it's fucking delicious. The food in Japan are delicious. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes like I see a cat one week, and the next thing you know, this gigantic drumstick, fucking deep fried drumstick. But you know what? I didn't fucking.
It's Japan, not China, not Korea.
I know, but still, made you think though. You know what I mean? Made
A
you
little
think.
bit of butthole pucker factor.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No. The best part though is like, in Japan when I was living there, like you can get anything at any time, right? You
Mm-hmm.
smoke like you wouldn't get a pack of cigarette in a fucking vending machine, right?
Yep.
You can get like fresh tea in a vending machine. You can get alcohol in a vending machine. I've done all that.
I love their beer and sake vending machines.
Yes. And you know what? They have a weird fascination with aloe vera. I fucking can't say that. What's it?
Oh yeah, the aloe vera drinks.
Aloe vera drinks. They have very, very strange fascination with that.
Aloe vera? Wait, people drink aloe vera?
Yeah,
aloe
they do.
vera is able to be consumed. And in Japan, one of the really common drinks that you can find in a shit ton of those vending machines is an aloe drink.
Mm-hmm.
Which
What?
aloe drinks are an acquired, not really so much an acquired taste as an acquired texture.
I thought it was like a rubbing lotion type of thing.
Oh, it's a plant that then gets the kind of viscous, almost jellied
like
inside.
Vicks. Yeah, you rub it.
And you can use that for a burn ointment. Aloe on burns works rather well. It's used in a lot of skincare treatments. But you can also take that and mix it with various juices.
Yep.
And you get a drink out of it. But it's an acquired texture. And what I mean by an acquired texture is there's like little chunks of the jellied aloe vera throughout.
It's like that
So
boba.
Has a body to it. It is more than boba. So boba, you just get the little tapioca pearls at the bottom, and you get those, and then you chew on one of those, and it tastes rather lovely. With the aloe drinks, it's more. Think of getting like the texture that you would get if you had fruit juice and then the same sort of flavor Jello.
Yeah.
And you mix the two together.
Like when they put like little fruit chunks in the gelatin.
Yeah.
In the 50s.
Have you ever had grass jelly drinks?
Ew. Wait, grass jelly?
Yeah. You never had those either?
No.
Oh, okay. So, I educate you, my son. Oh, I mean,
Did you ever have orbits?
Hey, what's an orbit?
oh,
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
okay. I need to pull up
A
orbits
moon.
because
Oh, shit.
this
Oh,
is a
God.
blast from the past for me, and I'm
Yeah.
curious how many other people ever
No.
had orbits.
What are these like a snack food?
It's a drink.
Oh, a drink.
Yes, it was this very strange but tasty drink. It was something that I would get orbits, clearly Canadians, and I'm trying to remember there was a third drink that were like constant road trip drinks for me. And the two main ones were orbits and clearly Canadian.
Sounds a boot, right? I mean,
Oh, it was God damn it. I just had it and then it slipped my mind right as I was about to say the name. Fuck. It's going to be elusive the entire night and it's going to drive me somewhat up the wall. I'll try to think about it in the back of my mind as I...
If only we had a couple of Canucks on this part of the Minions, you know, maybe one of them would show up. And
I absolutely know Clearly Canadian.
yeah.
Clearly Canadian you can get today. It's in grocery stores now.
So
I was just, you know.
I'm
Orbits is this.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. So I'm going to give you all something similar, right? So in where I'm from, right?
That's orbits. It's a drink that has these. It's a bit thicker than a normal drink, but it's thinner than like a thickened water.
But do those things like dissolve when you drink it? Like
they're little bits of effectively jelly.
Yeah, you eat it basically.
Yeah.
So okay, so when somebody says I don't like pulp in my orange juice, this is way out.
Yeah, this is like pulp times 2 because it's like little chunks in your mouth. You have to chew up.
Those people that don't like pulp in their orange juice are clearly wrong.
Oh no. Okay, so go on. So
you need extra pulp.
It's like drinking mucus.
It is thinner than that in its consistency. Like I said, it's not like thickened water. Have either of you accidentally ever consumed thickened water?
No, I have not consumed, but I know what it is. But no.
No, but you know, I've had. Have you ever had? What was it? Damn it! I want to say it's chia seeds, but
chia pudding.
Is it chia seeds?
Yeah, chia seeds are
that you add to water.
Yep, you add them to water. They kind of become almost pectin-like, like a jam or jelly or pudding.
Yeah, you add it and you let it sit for a bit, and then you drink it. But you know, even that was kind of
you more eat it with a spoon.
Well, I mean, I'd toss enough in a bottle just to drink it. But I mean, it was still. I mean, that was easier to digest, but that looks like holy shit.
Oh, it was delicious though.
Oh man.
Yeah. Clearly Canadian and Orbits were road trip drinks when I was growing up. If my family was going somewhere, I would be able to get a couple bottles of Orbits, a couple bottles of Clearly Canadian, and there's one more drink. Like I said, it's going to drive me crazy until I remember what the hell it was.
Well, holy shit. You know what? You know, and it kind of fits that it's a Canadian thing because that would be a double-double from the C's that we were talking about.
Yeah, in Canada, they call a double shot of their espresso in Tim Hortons a double-double. we here in the United States, at least where I'm from, and Western Western United States, we called a double double synonymous with like In and Out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I can go yeah, In and Out burger. I can go to In and Out right now because we have In and Out here. I can say, hey, give me a double double. They're like, oh, okay, a double sandwich at In and Out.
Hold on, wait. How? What? What would that mean for a double double in for like a sandwich or a
A
burger?
double burger, double cheese, right?
Double, yeah, double good, double cheese.
Oh, okay. I was sitting there like, wait, because Culver's, you ask for a double, and they put cheese on it no matter what. You have to tell them not to put cheese on it, but also it's a Wisconsin thing, so that's these
You
motherfuckers.
always need cheese.
They fucking cheeseheads, dude.
I hate
Sanguine, you
cheese.
know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I hate cheese in my burger. So I when I say, can you give me a double double no cheese? They're like, what? That makes no fucking sense. And usually when I ask for like animal style, they're like, what? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because like I grew up. Well, I didn't really grow up, but like at a younger age, in my early 20s, I was in California, so I actually know how to order In-N-Out burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
In-N-Out just came to Colorado like last year, right?
Most so they haven't gotten used to it yet?
Yeah, they haven't. And they don't know how to fucking order for shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so they order the generic burgers. I'm like, fuck, y'all don't know how to order shit. And it's frustrating in line. Like everybody's trying to like, the people that are working at In-N-Out, they're trying to teach them how to order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm that dude standing by like, can I just order my burgers? I know how to fucking order.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, and to go back to something that I was saying a little bit ago before I got sidetracked with finding orbits and wondering how many people have had orbits. By the way, if you're in chat and you know this drink, let me know. Because hell yeah, orbits, it's a blast from my childhood. But the other aspect of Japanese bars that I want, other than just having the isekais, nisekais. Isekai is the anime where it's strange world. Nisekaya is the tiny bar. Other than having nisekayas, I really want to have the bar mama culture. Cryptic knows what I mean when I say a bar mama.
Oh fuck yeah! They will serve you alcohol for goddamn days on end. They don't give a shit how much they make money. What they rely on is like you being kind to them and keeping them alive. Yeah, trust me. They can I tell you a horrible? It's not horrible, but kind of funny story.
Absolutely.
Well, hold on. You went. Can I tell you a horrible? Oh wait, no, kind of a funny. So
it's all three. It's all three, but I just want to like, yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay. It doesn't involve me, by the way. I know because he's my roommate.
Nice.
Yeah. So my roommate and my we were all Lance Corporal at the time, right? We were all same rank.
Mm-hmm.
My roommate and another guy, the Haitian guy, right? We frequent this bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
This fucking all she said was Budweiser most of the goddamn time. That's her beer choice to serve Americans because whatever. She was in her, I don't know, maybe fucking 60s, maybe late 50s, early 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
She had nobody. She was just her and the bar.
Mm-hmm.
She, her business wasn't that great. It was just she's a mama, right? She basically have like 2-3 people per day or whatever.
Yeah, the regulars that will sit there and drink, have a bite to eat, chat some shit.
Right. And I was one of them. And so were my friend and my roommate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one time we were just there, just drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to, it was kind of late. I wanted to go home. They wanted to stay because we were just drinking beer and what's that? Not Crown, but Jose Cuervo at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think, hey, look, I'm going home because I actually outranked them because I was a corporal, so I could go home, as I want, and they were lower ranked than me at the time because that week I got promoted, and they basically were still my friends, but I couldn't do the same shit I did with them, right?
Yep.
Well, they decided to stay. I was like, okay, because they signed out with each other. You have to be a partner, like a buddy system with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me being a corporal, I didn't have to be part of it. I could go home at any time I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I went home. The next day, they're like, yeah, we tag teamed the bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like Marines in Japan.
Yeah, no. 2 22-year-old fucking fucked a elderly woman.
Oh, they fucked the mama?
Oh, yeah?
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I was like, y'all fucking sick. And the funny thing is, they went on to town on her.
Yep. Oh, and for anyone listening along who doesn't know what a bar mama is, do you want me to explain it, or do you want to explain it?
Oh, you should explain it. It'd be funny coming from you.
So a bar mama is normally the proprietor of the bar, normally a female of the bar, and the female owner. Sometimes it's just the most senior female that's working the bar. Most of the time, they own their own little bar. And their entire bar lives and dies off of if the mama is someone that makes people feel comfortable coming to drink at their place, or if the mama puts them off.
Mm-hmm.
So they're part hostess, part barkeep, part owner, part waitress, and a lot of them, if their bar serves food, are also going in and out and cooking the food. It's almost a one-man show as a bar. And like I said, they just live and die off their reputation alone. Because if the mama is able to attract customers, then their bar is packed almost 24/7. If the mama doesn't, they don't get any customers. And ideally what the mamas try to do is they try to get a small handful of ridiculously loyal customers.
Yep.
And like I said, they're just amazing because they will sit and bullshit with people. They will know your drinks and how you like your drinks inside and out because that's part of what they live and die on. And they will talk about whatever the hell you end up talking about most of the time. If you're one of their standard customers and they know that you like listening to the news and you like politics, they'll learn politics if they don't know it normal. And they'll chat shit with you about politics. If they know that you like sports and you're one of their regulars, they will be able to chat sports with you. It's this very interesting culture.
Do you think this is a kind of like a modern day type of tavern type of culture?
It's kind of, yeah.
It's very yeah. So the lady I was at, her business was me and my friend, because literally she's like, every time I'm there, she doesn't have that many people, right? She literally doesn't. And when I'm there, she fucking would like, she always knew, right, to have Jose Cuervo available. Oh, fucking God. I hate that shit. But my girlfriend at the time, she liked it. We always had Budweiser. Oh, fucking God, I was young and dumb, so we drank Budweiser.
And it was cheap.
Yeah, it was cheap too. And then we had karaoke, right? And she had a karaoke stage. So she had music there, whatever we wanted to do, we just sing whatever.
Oh, yeah. The best little hole in the walls are the karaoke ones.
Yes.
Like I said, I really wish that we had the Nisakaya culture here, because I would love having a little hole in the wall bar that I could frequent and know the other people that went there. For anyone that has absolutely no clue what a Nisakaya is, and you want a depiction of one that is fairly damn good, and it's an interesting show to watch in general, and you have Netflix, there's a show called Midnight Diner on Netflix. Right. It will give you some sense of what a Nisakaya is like.
Yeah. I one of the fun thing is like when I was living there, right? You know what the best whiskey I've ever had in my life was?
Which one?
There was this alley area, right? We walked into, right? We went up to the second floor. In there, nobody was there ever, right? This little lady came out. She showed us her selection. It was maybe 10 bottles. One was this bottle that looks like handcrafted, like a ceramic handcrafted whiskey bar, right? Whiskey bottle, right? She's like, for like a shot, you know how much that costs?
Let's go 30.
No, go higher.
50.
Go higher.
70.
Yes, roughly.
Damn.
It was a bottle she had. And she put it on a rock. She would always put it on rocks, right? Each drink was about $75, $80.
Damn.
Best fucking smoothest whiskey you ever drink in your life.
Was it because Japan has a real big whiskey culture? For those who don't know, and they tend to favor scotches or their own national whiskeys.
It was an Italian whiskey.
Oh, that's strange.
Oh yeah, the bottle was delicious. I mean, it had a sweet note and all that stuff. And
like, you say an Italian whiskey?
Oh yeah.
What was the name?
I don't remember. It's a long time ago, but the bottle alone would cost thousands of dollars. So that's why each drink was literally a couple of ounces and just like she would charge you fucking like $70 dollars or more,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just you sip. That's the kind of whiskey you sip. Like
Yeah.
you literally just sip, but it was delicious. And I only went there 3 times because I couldn't fucking afford it. Because being like a little E3 and stuff, you can't afford that shit every.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. You walk up the stairs, nobody's there, just you and your buddies, and this person would just walk out. She'd just walk out, say, point towards the bottles. You pick your drink, they'll pour it for you, and let you relax.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And walk the fuck away.
Yeah, if you go to one of the Japanese whiskey bars, they are fantastic things. And it's, again, one of those aspects that would be really nice to have more of stateside.
Yeah.
Because what they do is they make sure that everyone that works there knows their shit forward and backward. That they know what drink. A lot of these places will have food as well, and they'll have recommended pairings.
Yep.
So if you're interested in, for instance, some of them have very standard Japanese food of like curry and things like that, and they'll have the whiskeys that go really well with that curry. Other ones, I can't remember the name of the type of cuisine. Cryptic might remember it. It's the Japanese foreign cuisine.
Oh yeah. They fuck, what's that called? They take the like the foreign cuisine and then make it their own. That is very common in Japanese culture. Like, let's say meatballs, right? They would make it Japanese, like they would put like rice and shit, like Yeah, I know
like
what you're talking.
Japanese croquettes are one of the best examples. Or another really obvious one, if you know about it, is Doria. Yeah. All the Dorias are this one style of food. And I'm trying to remember the name of it because it has its own category where it's all those dishes are called blah. And I can't remember what the blah is.
So here's a dish that y'all don't know very well, right? But taco rice and cheese, right?
Yep.
So that was my junk food when I was in Okinawa, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very simple, right? You get a bed of white rice. You get the taco meat and taco seasoning, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cook it like normal, taco meat before putting it in a shell or whatever, right? You put that on top of the white rice.
Mm-hmm.
You either put mayo, ketchup, and a fucking good heaping of American cheese.
Yoshoku. That's the name of the Japanese takes on foreign food.
Oh,
that's the cuisine.
That's the name of it, yeah.
I was trying to remember, and it just came to my
mind.
in your
head, yeah. No, you good. No, but like that they y'all don't realize like the combination of food there is freaking delicious. Like, I dated like a Japanese girl. Her favorite food literally is just like a amalgamation of American and Japanese food. It's fucking delicious, it's like I wish I had more of that here too, with amalgamation of like Japanese and American food. It's fine.
Yeah, and what happens here a lot, and some of the time I can understand it, some of the time I'm going, okay, why the fuck are people making a big deal of it? We have this, well, you're Americanifying different cuisine, and I'm going, yeah, because we live in America. It's making its own thing, using the source culture as inspiration. It isn't a problem. Japan does that in spades, and no one bitches about it in Japan.
In Okinawa, right? In Naha City, they literally have a store called America City.
Yep.
And you know what? Ripped jeans are worth fucking 100, like 20, fucking, well, 120,000, what's that? Yuan, right?
Yen.
Yen. I'm sorry, yuan. Fucking that's Chinese.
Yuan's
Yen.
China, yeah.
Yeah. Yen, right? And I'm just like, I can make this shit like on base. Like they love American cultures.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that we used to do shit like that as well, where we were allowed to admire culture and kind of take our own spin on it. Though Japan does it in hilarious ways, like if they have urban American culture has been growing as a thing that they like in Japan to a certain extent. It's not taken over all of the American interests, but some of it has gone more towards like urban American culture.
Right.
And Japan does the weirdest shit when it comes to that. Like they literally hire black Africans to stand outside these stores and try to speak in American slang. So you'll just see this like Nigerian man, full-blown Nigerian accent, trying to, what's up, my brother?
No,
and you're just going, what the fuck?
One of the funny things I've ever seen is like the Scion, right? That's like those little boxy cars.
Yep.
Yeah. So when I was living there, right? I was in Naha City. I was just driving because I had a car because I had a car when I was there. I was driving down to the mall. It's like the American outlet store they have there, right? Where I told you that they sold like ripped jeans for like fucking 120,000 fucking yen and all that shit, right? So I was down there. I was like, whatever, and I see the car drive by, and it's drop, has rims and all that stuff, like Vato SA style. Like, I'm just like, y'all don't know shit. These people are trying to imitate us as Americans, right?
Yep.
And I'm just like, that ain't gonna work.
And the thing is that when they do that, it is a goddamn love letter to America. And this is what I wish we could return to, when rather than having you're culturally appropriating this. No. When you try to do that shit, it's a love letter to whatever culture you're trying to emulate.
Yep. Oh shit, dude! Right out of the store, right outside the store, right? Just completely out of the store. Every fucking time I'm there, right? Like I go there a lot because I had a staff son that lives down there, right? So I would just go down there and hang out, right? They would have like breakdancing competition.
Oh yeah, breakdance became real big in Japan for a while.
Oh yeah, they had breakdancing there, shit. And I would breakdance with them, and they're like, "This is my." Since I'm Asian, they don't think I'm American Asian, So I go down there and they would have their little individual bands and all over the place, right? They have breakdancing competition in each location. And fucking that shit is fun as shit to see people try to outdo each other.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just a goddamn love letter every time that you see shit like that. When a culture's trying to emulate another culture, it is them saying this culture's fucking awesome. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, when you get a fucking dude, a dog tag, right? In Okinawa, like at the American outlet store down there in Naha City,
Mm-hmm.
it will cost you $30, right? Like you convert, well, it'll be like 30,000 yen, but you know what I mean, $30. I'll do one for now, right?
Mm-hmm.
On base, you can get that for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, you know, but like, it's not meant for you and me. It's meant for the locals.
Yeah.
Yo, even with that, fucking baseball
Mm-hmm.
has been a pillar of I guess cultural blending. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, do you realize the best baseball player in the world right now is a Japanese guy?
Oh yeah, I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, no,
Baseball's huge in Japan.
yeah, he plays for the Anaheim Angels or California Angels. He is like Babe Ruth. He basically he bats, he hits home runs and all that stuff, and he's a good pitcher. He got injured He got injured like Tommy John a year ago, but he came back this year. He was fucking tearing shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Ohani, I think is his name. He is a Japanese guy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He is the best baseball player in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And baseball is really huge there. Like everywhere I drove in Okinawa, there would be like a like either amateur or professional field.
Mm-hmm.
They love baseball.
Batting cages all over the place as well.
Yes, I've seen. Yeah, shit. During when we're doing the reproductive festivals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of them had like they were involved in like baseball fields.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and since we're talking about Japan, we mentioned whiskey earlier.
Yes.
I was actually able to find a Japanese whiskey that is not bad. And I'm going to continue trying to see if there's more that I can find. Kaigan.
Kaigan, okay.
Kaigan is a Japanese whiskey that I just found yesterday morning. And it is fairly good. The other Japanese whiskeys that I've had to date have had the mouthfeel of broken glass and gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
This one is not quite as smooth as like a proper Scotch or a proper Irish whiskey. And by proper, I mean good ones, because they're shitty Irish whiskeys, they're shitty Scotches. But it's definitely a nice, drinkable whiskey. So I was rather pleased that I was able to find a Japanese whiskey that I actually kind of enjoy.
And the name would be?
Kaigan.
Cayenne. Like cayenne pepper?
No, Kaigan.
Oh.
Here, let me type it in chat for any that are interested. And it was shockingly affordable as well. There we go. That's the name of the whiskey. Kaigan.
Mm.
And like I said, it's a rather nice whiskey. And I just tried another whiskey that I bought yesterday as well. Writer's Tears. It's the first time drinking that one. And it's fairly decent as well. Writer's Tears is an Irish whiskey rather than a Scotch or Japanese whiskey,
though. Since it's Japanese, is it the bomb?
God damn it.
I'm sorry. I had to make that joke. No, the Japanese people are very much Western, but they're not Western. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about all stupid moral bullshit, but they appreciate democracy, which is what.
I'd like to know whether the Japanese prefer Kentucky or Tennessee.
Kentucky.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Talking about the American whiskeys.
There you go.
Yeah, but you know why I say that though? Have y'all like? Okay, I spent Thanksgiving in
Oh yeah, the KFC holidays.
Yep, they actually do have that. I've actually been there. I was like, oh, okay, shit.
The KFC Christmas bucket.
Yeah, they actually reserve it like we do reserve fucking like Thanksgiving turkey.
Yep.
I've seen that in real life. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and it was all thanks to Japanese marketing exec.
Yep.
Who, after it became big, went, yeah, I just made this shit up.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And it worked. I mean, they still do it to this fucking very day. So.
Yeah, he admitted it, and they're still going, yeah, but fuck it. This is Christmas dinner to us now. We know you made it up. We'll all admit that you made it up. This is Christmas dinner, though.
And the great thing is, too, when somebody is on the march standing or marching with you and they're like, hey, this is all fake. And you look back at them and it's like, yeah, it is. And we just keep marching.
Do you prefer a leg or a thigh?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yes, it is. That's the whole plot.
Yeah, people realize that KFC is really big in Japan and
oh yeah.
What about
China.
Popeyes? They don't like Popeyes out there?
No.
I'm not sure if there's a single Popeyes in Japan.
No.
I'm gonna open the first franchise of Popeyes out there.
You know, the fun thing is Burger King is quite big in Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Burger King?
Yeah, they serve fucking noodles, curry noodles.
Nice.
In Burger King.
Nice.
See, now I just got an image of the Burger King with noodles like octopus legs.
That's like in Japan, McDonald's has a bunch of seasonal burgers that it releases. One of the biggest releases of seasonal burgers is, if I remember correctly, the Tsukiyomi burgers. I think it's the Tsukiyomi burgers.
Wait, what do you mean? Like they're
Japanese holiday burgers.
Specialty flavored type of
Yeah. So I think it's Tsukiyomi. Let me quickly double check that I have the right holiday. Tsukiyomi, rather. Burgers.
Actually, I was trying to remember the chicken restaurant that's very popular in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there, literally, like, you can't go anywhere without eating that goddamn chicken. I've eaten it. It's actually quite good, actually.
And here's I was able to pull up a picture of the McDonald's and KFC Tsukuyomi.
Yeah, I've eaten those. They don't look like that at all.
Oh yeah, this is the promotional picture.
Yeah.
The actual burger won't look as pretty, but
looks flat. Yeah.
Hold on, the one on the left. Well, they both look like dudes with mustaches. Is that an egg in the middle?
Yep, it's
an
egg with a runny yolk. And then the one on the left is, of course, a chicken sandwich, because that one's the KFC. The one on the right is, I want to say it's a beef, but it might be a katsu sandwich. But yeah, it's their holiday burgers. And then, of course, Japan has a bunch of Japanese-only McDonald's menu items. Like, while you were there, did you have shaku shaku chicken? Cryptic? Cryptic stepped out. I'm out.
Oh.
But there's a at Japanese McDonald's. There's a dish that is shaku shaku chicken, and shaku shaku is literally just alliteration for shake shake. So it's this chicken that you get, and you get a pouch and a flavor packet. So you add as much of the flavor packet to the pouch as you want. You shove the chicken in the pouch, you roll over the top of the pouch, and you shake your chicken in order to season it as much as you want. You had shaku shaku chicken while you were in Japan, right?
So, sorry,
McDonald's.
I was just restaurant. So what's up again?
You had shaku shaku chicken while you were in Japan, right?
Actually, I didn't.
You didn't, or you did? Sorry,
I did not.
Did not. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's a McDonald's menu item. It's rather tasty, but it was a pouch and flavor packet. You dump as much of the flavor packet as you wanted, shove the freshly fried chicken into it, shake it about, and you'd have a seasoned fried bit of chicken. And you could choose a bunch of different flavors. You could get a couple different flavor packets, mix them together, and shake your chicken in them.
Yeah. So when I was in Japan, I ate at McDonald's. When I ate at McDonald's, all the meat was lean. I was like, this tastes totally different from like American McDonald's, right?
Yep.
It was just like, I was like, there's no fat in this meat. It's tastes different. It's just I wasn't used to it, you know.
Yeah. It doesn't taste bad. It's just different.
Right. Yeah. And I was just like, you know, it's like I don't eat very much McDonald's anyway, but I still know the difference, you know.
Yeah. For me, when I travel to another country, and I know that they have something strange on the McDonald's menu, I'll go once to McDonald's. I'll get one of the strange items or two of the strange items. And that will be the only time that I eat at McDonald's the entire time that I'm there, if I have the ability not to.
Yeah, I when I was there, I tried some random shit. Like I was like, excuse me, I'm at Burger King. I can get teriyaki chicken on my rice. What the fuck is this shit?
Get it? Let's find out.
And I did. I was like, what? And there's like spaghetti and meatballs on like rice. I'm like, what?
Yep.
Like, no, there's some weird shit when you go like American like branded restaurant, right? And then it's like okay, you get teriyaki chicken. I'm like, what? You can, yeah. And the funny is like it's not bad actually.
Yeah, it tends to be pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's quite good.
And one of my favorite things from Japan when it came to food are the Japanese French bakeries.
Right.
We need Japanese French bakeries everywhere in the United States. There should not be a single place in the US that is more than 45 minutes away from a Japanese French bakery. Have
you tried a Vietnamese French bakery?
I have, and those are really good as well.
Yes, and like the dessert treats are fucking delicious. Like like the cold treats, you know. Like they call it. Well, literally translated is 3-color
Oh yes.
Jebama, like 3-level. It's like 3-color. Jebama. Jebama is like 3-color. Fuck, how am I gonna translate this to fucking English?
I'm trying to remember what it's normally called. It's 3-color or tricolor, and then I'm trying to remember the last word as well.
Yeah. 3-color tree Vietnamese. No, it's like I know how to say it. It's called Jie Ba Mao, right? 3-color dessert, basically.
Yeah.
They would translate, right? It's delicious, right? The thing is, like, it has tapioca, it has coconut milk, banana, peanuts, walnuts. Well, it's. I'm not a dessert person, but I would eat at least one of that, right? And you can like add flakes and like my ex-girlfriend likes durian. She has a durian flavor with that. I like stuff like that. It's like it's delicious for them. I eat it once every blue moon, but when I do, it's good.
And yeah, for those who haven't had it and don't know what we're talking about, it's this dessert that is shaved ice, mung beans, if I remember correctly, and it's a mung bean paste that they make.
Yeah.
Then it's pandan jelly, right? It is pandan.
It's like a tapioca based jelly, basically.
It's the green one.
Yeah,
it's made with pandan leaves.
Yeah, pandan leaves, yes, but
flavoring.
Yeah.
So pandan jelly, and then it has a thickened coconut sauce, which is kind of like a whipped cream in texture.
Right, but they also can add like mango slices or some kind of like coconut slices. Depending on the region of Vietnam you're from, right? They can add durian stuff. Also, I don't like that part, but
and it typically also has red bean. So the 3 colors tend to be the red of the red bean layer, then white in the mung bean / coconut sauce layers.
Yes.
And green in the pandan jelly layer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then you can either slurp it or eat it. Most people eat it, and then on top of it is like heavy amount of ice just to make the dilute the sweetness out of it.
Yeah, it's a shaved ice dessert, and they try to make sure that they have crystal clear ice that they shave ridiculously thin in order to get the best texture out of it.
Yes. For where I'm from, we have a different dessert to that. We call jingot, I guess you call it when you call it, right? So what we do is we have 4 ingredients, max. That's it. So we have the sugar. We have grass jelly, generally the green one. We have jackfruit. And we have lychee.
Yes. I love lychee.
Yeah. So what we do is we mix them all together, right? You can add a couple more stuff, but this is the basic, right? You dice them up and all that stuff. We have, my mom and I we like the mango dice also, right? So sorry, that's off the tangent. That's not that is. What we do is we put that in a bowl, right? We put the sugar in, do the sugar ratio the way we like how much sweet it is, right? We would put it in the fridge and let it sit for maybe.
Let it macerate without alcohol.
Right, a couple of hours. You bring it out. You put it in a cup or a bowl, how you want to eat it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can put it in a glass if you want to put alcohol in it. You know what I'll do?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say a vodka type alcohol, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it absorbs the liquor and makes it alcoholic.
Yep.
And you can serve that to fucking anybody. You know, you can have the same thing for kids and as
Mm-hmm.
adults, separate. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you just gotta keep track of which one is which.
One alcoholic, one not. And if you get them mixed up, suddenly Timmy's drunk as shit.
Exactly. But yeah, that's like my favorite like dessert growing as a kid. I don't like dessert very often, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very easy thing to do. It's literally 5 ingredients, and you just put it in the fridge and just let it sit for like a day, you know.
Yep.
Now hold on, dude. Oh, there you go, dong. What are you two of you thinking about, like manufactured drinks, like kind of like, because we're coming up to the season of like eggnog, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what do the two of you think about that? Like, do you go and make something similar, or do you go for the eggnog, or what do you think?
I've always been much more of a hot apple cider person than an
See, I
eggnog
like that.
person.
Apple cider is always good too.
Yep, apple cider, mulled wine. If you like wine, I typically don't do mulled wine because red wines give me headaches. But if you like,
Same.
if you don't get headaches, then a mulled wine can be rather lovely.
What is a mulled wine?
A mulled wine is a spiced wine, so it's a good full body red wine that is gently heated with normally some cinnamon, maybe some cardamom or mace, and a bit of nutmeg are the standard additions. You can add in other ones as well. And you just let it heat up slowly with those spices in it. You bring it up to just under the point where it would start to boil. You have it sit at that temperature for a bit, then you bring it right back down, and you can serve it warm, or you can let it chill a bit more and serve it more towards room temp. Normally it's served warm though. Not hot, but not a fair bit above room temp. But yeah, it's a spiced wine, effectively. And it's very Christmassy.
It's like so it has like a spicy type of flavor to it.
Yeah, it kind of has that spicy warmth to it, while also having the bloom that you get after drinking alcohol. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's the vasodilators.
No, yeah.
System open up your blood vessels and your body just kind of feels a bit warmer. Only you don't get hit by as much of the bloom as you do with like a whiskey or something more alcoholic like that. But then you can also do fortified mulled wines, which that gives a substantial amount more bloom than just a standard mulled wine. But normally the spice and standard mulled wine give you that feeling as well.
Do you think like a cinnamon type of liquor has that type of effect?
If it's a high enough alcohol content, then you definitely get the bloom. And the cinnamon in and of itself also causes that
I was gonna
kind
say,
of
like,
warmth.
yeah, cinnamon always has that feeling of like it like opens up your blood. You can feel it.
Yep. But yeah, the ones that the alcohol that is really well known for that bloom that I'm talking about is the belly bloom from whiskey.
Oh yeah,
Which-
no, I know full well of that.
Yeah, if you've had whiskey before, you know what the belly bloom is, because it's that you take the bit of whiskey, you down it, and if it's a good whiskey, you feel almost nothing to nothing in your mouth, you feel nothing in your throat, and then it hits your stomach, and you just get this kind of pulse of warmth that spreads from your stomach out to the rest of you. That's what the belly bloom is.
It's a space heater in your stomach.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, a good whiskey should have no mouth burn. It should be smooth as water in your mouth, smooth as water down your throat. A whiskey that isn't quite as high quality will give you a little bit of that. I know Cryptic has, but Adam, have you ever had Szechuan Peppercorn?
Uh, Szechuan Peppercorn?
Szechuan Peppercorn, yes.
I cannot say that I have. No.
So it's this pink peppercorn that is grown in the Szechuan province and is famous in Szechuan province food. But what it has is this kind of numbing effect.
Hold on. Now, is this? Are we talking something that like a spice used for cooking?
Yes, it's a spice used for cooking.
Okay.
So
So not a whiskey
no,
flavor.
this isn't a whiskey flavor. So
Okay.
Szechuan peppercorn is a spice used in cooking. It's used a hell of a lot in Szechuan food, used in a bunch of other cuisine as well. But it has this kind of numbing effect. Almost, you know the numbing that you get from Novocaine?
Yes.
Reduce that by about 10% or so. So you get just a little bit of that numb rather than I can't feel my tongue. It's just kind of that almost like the tip of your tongue has gone to sleep sort of feel. And that's what Szechuan Peppercorn does. Then if you're drinking a whiskey that isn't a high enough grade of whiskey to have that just complete water down the throat and in the mouth feel, you'll get sometimes just that slight, your tongue's gone numb or your lips have gone slightly numb feel from drinking a bit of the whiskey.
See, sir, I myself had procured a bit of Jim Beam for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have me having second thoughts.
Jim Beam would give you a little bit of the burn and would give you a little bit of that numb.
No, it's none of that.
Oh, you don't get any of the numb from Jim Beam?
Numb? No.
Ah.
I just like the taste. It's easier taste for the whiskey.
For me, Jim Beam, I get a little bit of the alcohol burn and I get a little bit of that tingle.
Yeah,
Unlike,
I get a little tingle.
With the Irish whiskeys that I drink in the nice, high quality scotches, I get no tingle, no burn. I just get the belly bloom.
I get the bloat and I get the burn.
Yeah, the burn is from it being a harsher, not as finely tuned whiskey.
I like it though, because it reminds me of, hot sauce.
Fair enough.
You get a good hot sauce, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to hurt me.
Nice.
Oh, jeez. Did we lose Cryptic?
I think he stepped away for a moment again. But yeah, I love food. I love drink. I've been
Yes, sir.
experimenting with various alcohols as I go along. So I've decided that once a month or so, I'll hit up one of the liquor stores near me and find either a type of alcohol a family of alcohol that I know I like, and try to have an example of it that I haven't had before to see whether it's a good one or a shitty one. As well as, if I don't do that, then I'll go for a type of alcohol that I haven't had a good example of yet, and I'll try just a random one and see if I can find a sort of that alcohol that I actually like.
Yo, dude, that's fucking crazy because I was thinking the exact same thing
Mm-hmm.
just this earlier. There was this because I was looking at the bottles and I'm like, man, these bottles look crazy. Because I'm thinking like, how drawing stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I've been going through a lot of drawing different like armor types and stuff.
You were looking at the Crystal Head vodka, weren't you?
Well, the Crystal Head vodka from good old Danny Aykroyd.
Yep.
But no, it was a Greek drink, Meki Teki or something like that. But I like, I don't know, I'm Macedonian, not Greek. But I like the bottle, and that's what I was looking at. I was like looking at these bottles and like the tequila bottles, and there was a old school moonshine bottle where it was like
Oh, the clay jug?
yeah, the clay jug type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there like, I'm not looking at it as do I want to try this alcohol. I'm looking at it more like this bottle looks pretty nice. I would like to have this bottle on my shelf. It's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some alcohols that I know I want to try at some point, but I just never see them, so I don't know if/when I'll be able to try them. One of the foremost currently is I really want to give a go at having a drop of Pasheen, which you probably haven't heard of Pasheen, have you?
Yeah, no.
So
Pershing.
Pasheen is effectively Irish moonshine.
Oh shit!
It is young Irish whiskey.
There's no way the feds are gonna get to the Irish Isles.
There's
That was bad.
two different Anglicanized spellings of it when it comes to Pasheen. So there's Pacheen, and then there's Poitin, but the I has a accent mark on it. There's also another one which is
So they're doing like a traditional type of spelling on it?
well, like I said, there's a couple different spellings for the alcohol because you have Pasheen, you have it's still pronounced Pasheen with the TIN. Then you have Pasheen where it is POTEEN, and then Pasheen where it is POTHEEN. All of them are valid spellings of Pasheen. But that's effectively Irish moonshine. And I really want to give a go at having a tickle of Pasheen, but I don't think I'll be able to find Pasheen stateside.
Yeah, not unless somebody's gonna smuggle it over.
Yeah. And then some of the others that I want to try that I willing to bet that I won't be able to find are rakia.
Rocky.
Yep. Rakia is I want to say it's Slavic, or it might just be Baltic. It's in the former Soviet bloc region. It's a distilled spirit that is, I think, derived from fruit. So it's kind of like an apple brandy type deal. And that is another one that I really want to have a go at tasting. Then that you can get either in the white rakia or you can get aged rakia. Both of them I want to give a go because I haven't had them before. And fuck it. Why not? But I'd have to find them first. Or find a person from the former Soviet bloc that happens to have their own personal supply of rakia and become buddy-buddy with them and trade some whiskey for some rakia. It is... There's all kinds of fantastic alcohols out there, though, that, like I said, I want to explore more and figure out at least one sort of most alcohols. There's some that I'm willing to bet I'll never find a version of that I'll actually enjoy. Like, I am pretty much positive that the only use for vodka is cleaning cast iron.
Well, like, grain alcohol. Excuse me, grain alcohol too. It's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, I get the most bottom barrel bargain vodka that I can find for my cast iron cleaning because it does a real treat. Also, I'm surprised that alcohol is one of the few things that thus far I haven't seen an increase in price of. Have you noticed that as well?
I'm not sure. I'm in a peculiar status, so
True.
I can't really.
Yeah, for me, I've noticed that food prices have spiked up massively. The two worst examples of this are still the fact that sea bass is over $50 a pound, when it used to be less than 20. And sea scallops, the 12 to 20 count sea scallops, so not ridiculously big, but not small sea scallops either, those are at $42 a pound, when again, those used to be less than 20 a pound. But then my bargain barrel goddamn vodka that I use for cleaning was less than $10 for a handle, and it's still less than $10 for a handle.
But this is a Biden economy, man.
It is a hell of a thing. There's no sign that it's going to improve anytime soon, which really goddamn sucks.
Well, in all fairness, he did say that we were going to be going into a dark winter. So, look it up, those who are watching and those who will watch. He did say that.
Yep. And like I said, the number of people that were surprised that we have inflation and surprised by the increase of gas prices make no fucking sense, because that's the natural result of what he said he was going to do, and then he did.
Yep.
And they're trying to act like, who could have ever predicted that when he said that we're going to print more money, that we would have rampant inflation?
Who would have thunk it?
Anyone that understands what the words print more money and inflation means would know that printing more money causes inflation. The people that are going, well, yeah, he said that he was going to decrease drilling and cancel pipelines and decrease fracking, but why is our gas prices increasing? Well, because he canceled pipelines, he decreased offshore drilling, he decreased fracking. When you have a decrease in supply or a predicted decrease in supply, the price goes up. Standard market forces, supply and demand, you motherfucker. Does this shit mean a goddamn thing to you? But they just kept on trying to act like, this is completely random. How could have we ever known? It's not like he told us.
I don't know. You know, at some point you gotta wonder if people are paying attention and they just don't want to say anything, or if they're paying attention and they don't care. You know, like how much bullshit has to go on before you start saying like, what the fuck's going on?
I think it's more people aren't paying attention, and the people that are the people that are paying attention and are still saying that they're being caught unaware, they're just goddamn idiots. Because if you don't know what inflation means, then, and you're being told that, yeah, printing more money won't cause inflation, and you never figure out what inflation means, then, yeah, you could be parroting that phrase. And then when you hear about inflation, be going, well, I was told that there wouldn't be inflation, but there is inflation, so what the hell's causing this inflation?
Well, you look at everything going, like, things start kind of slowing down, and all of a sudden, look, just look. They're talking about Omicron
Yeah.
variant. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. They're gonna start saying, "Hey, let's close down things and let's start slowing down." At what point do we say, "What the fuck?"
And the part that I find darkly and depressingly amusing when it came to that was, did you see I think it was the WHO spokesperson when they were talking about Omicron, and they were being interviewed about the dangers of Omicron. Did you see that interview by any chance?
I don't think I saw that one in particular.
So in that interview, it's like I said, I think it was the spokesperson for the WHO was being asked about Omicron and the dangers of Omicron. So they were asked, is it more deadly? Well, we don't know that yet. Is it more contagious? Well, we don't know that yet. Are there different symptoms associated with it? Well, we don't know that yet. Is it spreading faster? Well, we don't know that yet. We're working on the numbers for it. But we need to be careful because this is a more dangerous variant. And I'm going, okay, you just said that you don't know if it's more deadly. You don't know if it's more infectious. You don't know if it is spreading to more areas quicker. You don't know if people are being hospitalized more for it. But now you're saying that you do know that it's more dangerous. Why? What measure is it more dangerous if you just said you don't know any of the standard measurements in order to determine how dangerous something is?
That's that's where it's picking up red flags. And the beginning too, it started in South Africa. I believe I saw some articles about the doctors out in South Africa saying that it wasn't something that was, as dangerous as people are making it out to be, but they still close it off. But looking at America, after it blew up in California and New York, now we got cases in a whole bunch of other cities, and it's just like, how do you guys know that it's the Unicron fucking virus? This is like, this. I don't know. It's so cartoonish to me, and I don't understand how people aren't looking at this and like, dude, this is, yeah, like they're fucking saying this. It's just blown up all over the place, and
like I said, for me, the biggest thing was just the person who's supposed to be the expert on it saying that it is extremely dangerous and it's more dangerous, but then when they're asked about every major factor that would make it more dangerous, their answer for every major factor that would make it more dangerous was, well, we don't know if that's the case. If you don't know that's the case on every major factor, like I said, it would be one thing if they were going, well, we don't know if it's more deadly, but we know it spreads faster. Okay, that would be something that you're able to then go, by some measure, you could say that that's more dangerous. But when you just said that you don't know if it's more deadly, you don't know if it causes more hospitalizations, you don't know if it spreads faster, you don't know if it's more infectious, you don't know if it's able to infect people that were previously infected, by what measure are you saying that it's more dangerous? Because it sounds like you just said that on every single measure, you don't know.
dude, look, everything's happening. Excuse me. I got a lot of mocos in my throatos. It's because I smoke marijuana. But no, but yo, everything's happening pretty fucking fast. You would think that, like, holy shit, they would say, hey, we need time to be able to research this and look into it and figure out how we could, analyze this and get a better results from it. But they're just like, oh yeah, no, here's a new variant, and all of a sudden, yeah, we got, here's what you need. Just go ahead and take it.
Yeah, like I said, it would be one thing if what they were saying is that this could potentially be more dangerous, and they were saying that they don't know all of this. Absolutely, I have no problem with someone saying it that way. Because can something that you don't know the stats on be more dangerous? Yes. Could it be less dangerous? Yes. Could it be exactly the same? Yes. But how the fuck do you say categorically that something is more dangerous?
Hold on. Can I? Okay, so there's a part of it's like, okay, so if everything was scripted, right, and they were like, okay, so we're just trying to fool you into, thinking, you would think that they would already have the cure already set go, for everything beyond, but it's like, no, we're seeing just like, no, they're just befuddling.
Oh, Cryptic fell out.
Uh-oh.
He'll be back.
It's probably because we're talking about too much.
No, that would have been our stream went down, not just Cryptic got popped out.
Well,
and to respond to something that Jack said
uh-oh.
in chat, the thing about masks is that there's evidence that masks can help if you're using the or there's evidence that masks do help if you're using the proper mask in the proper way. There's evidence that masks can help even when you're using not the best masks, but you're using them in the proper way. That study has been done with other infectious diseases. There's this weird outsized effect when you're talking about this. There was a fantastic video by, I want to say it was Goddard's Journal. I'm not sure if it's still available because this was back before a lot of info purging started to happen. But Goddard's Journal did a literature review on the efficacy of masks when Fauci at the time was saying that the average person should not wear masks. He did a literature review. In the literature review, he talked about how in pretty much every experiment, they were able to find, even if a mask had a fairly low individual rate of success, and the experiments that he talked about went down to a 15% efficacy for an individual use of mask. The effect, large scale, would be much larger than that 15%. It was well done science. It was science that was done ages ago. So there is evidence that masks were used. The problem is that masks aren't used in the proper way. We aren't using the proper sorts of masks. We are using masks that wouldn't even be viable splatter masks as reusable masks, while also using splatter masks as reusable masks for dealing with aspirated liquids. These are things that should not be seen as standard. These are things that should not be seen as normal. If people really wanted other people to wear the masks, and I'm saying masks so many times that masks is losing all sense and it's sounding weird as I say it. But if people wanted them to wear them, the best thing that could have been done is put out PSAs on how to properly wear them. That would have been the best course of action. Put out information on here's how you wear them, here's how you deal with them, here's how you dispose of them after you wear them. Rather than just going, okay, everyone wear these. Because people don't know how to wear them. People don't know the rules about wearing them. Also, ideally, when you're dealing with droplets, you would want N95s, and I think the other is K95. There's another sort that is also in the same categorization. So you have N95s and you have N99s, and then I think it's K95s and K99s would all be valid. But that isn't the sort that people are trying to push. It's...
Dude, hold on. I was just thinking about like that would be a okay. Here's a, I don't even know how to like. It's like Polywing 64. I don't think it's Polywing 64. Whatever the weirdo 64. But okay, so I'm jumping in. It would be like in a district ride or district wide how you can invoke the community to be able to work within. You'd have people, even though they're doing their full 9 to 5, they can still contribute by um, uh, adding into with like stories or poetry or art, and that can then be worked in with, again, local community people who would manufacture that into books or like little pamphlets or whatever. And then that could be distributed to the local district schools, wherein the students are learning from their own community. And I mean, as long as it's a subject matter that's, obviously you'd have to be a participant of it, if you're willing to add your contribution to it. But I think something like that is necessary in terms of the growth of, like, we need to start looking at the local areas in a lot of this.
And to quickly respond to something that Gamer Valine just said, because Gamer Valine said, timeout, that study on efficacy studied N95 respirators that, per ASTM, have to be black, or have to block 95% of particles larger than 0.3 microns. They use strep bacteria to test. That is 3 times larger than COVID. Like I said, there's a number of studies. The most pertinent study, yes, that one was looking at N95s. There's a shit ton of documentation looking at the efficacy of masks. And again, that word is losing all meaning every time that I say it. When you look at the entire bit of research, okay, so Harry just said that the KN is the Chinese standard similar to N95. It's the P95 and P99 that are the other ones. Okay. So the N95s also do protect more on inhalation rather than exhalation. That is also true, especially if you're using one of the valved N95s. For those who don't know, there's some N95s that have a exhale valve. It's a one-way valve that makes it easier to exhale while closing on the inhale to make sure that everything that you inhale has to come through the actual mask or come through the sides of the mask if you don't have it properly fitted. If you look at the research in masks in general, like I said, there's one study, I can't remember the study name off the top of my head, but it was looking at the efficacy of all the different masks, and it looked to the efficacy of masks that went down to 15% for individual use. It was not just looking at N95s. There are more studies using N95s. This one was talking about N95s and surgicals, but it was dealing with particles much larger than the current COVID particle. I'm having to put a hell of a lot of caveats on this, if you notice. But it showed that in the event of a mask being about 15% effective, you would get about a 30% decrease in transmission, which means that it's outsized given the number, or given the efficacy of individual use, because it's about double the efficacy of individual use. That's just due to how fucking weird the math gets when it comes to it. That a 15% efficacy does yield a larger percent of decrease in transmission. Like I said, that was using not just N95 masks, but it was using particles larger than the COVID-19. And it was in a study where it was dealing with proper usage, not just whatever the fuck usage people were doing. And let's see. Yes, there's a shit ton of various studies that deal with this, and they range in how valid they are. Like I said, it was a series of studies done before, did show some effect. It was not to the degree that people are hyping it up. Also, there were a shit ton of caveats that need to be said when you're talking about it, such as it was dealing with larger particles. It was also dealing with the proper use of masks. It was also dealing with a less transmissible virus in the study. So, a lot of caveats in that. If you're trying to look for the best protection, then you would have to use the 95s and 99s in order to get the best efficacy, and you'd have to use them correctly. You'd have to have them properly fitted to your face, which some of them are moldable, some of them are you just need a fit test, and you need to get the right size for your fit test. You need to, for instance, I have a rather glorious beard. Having a rather glorious beard makes it difficult for damn near any mask to actually work on me. There are, thankfully, due to the fineness of my beard, I was able, when I was working as a correction officer, to get the gas mask that we had to use for breaches to actually fit and be tight and properly seal on me. But that was not a factor that was used in the actual study. Again, there's the proper usage. The particles in those studies, yes, they were smaller than the particles that we're currently dealing with. That would require additional research, but my point in general was that there is evidence showing in previous studies that masks can be more effective in large scale than they are in individual use. But that did not meet the criteria that I would have said it was a valid thing. It would have met the criteria where I would have gone, yeah, if it makes you feel better, fucking do it. But it does not reach the criteria where I would say mandate it. In fact, I can't really think of criteria where I would go mandate it shy of, yeah, if you inhale this, you drop stone dead. If suddenly people are dropping chemical weapons, then yeah, mandate everyone have chemical weapon grade gas masks. I would not have a problem with that. But that is not the situation that we're dealing with. I was just pointing out that they're saying that there was no evidence of any sort of effectiveness of masks. Not accurate. There's indication that it could be effective. It has a lot of caveats to that indication, which meant that if people actually wanted them to be effective, what they should have done is tried to meet those different criteria: the proper usage, the proper mask selection, having a mask that was at least partially effective, because that's the thing. If it's 0% efficient, or 0% effective, then the effect will still be 0. It's only if you meet a minimum level of effectiveness that that outsize effect can even be felt. There's a hell of a lot of different caveats, as I said. And there should always be a hell of a lot of caveats when you're trying to be honest about shit like this.
Yeah, dude.
And Game of Lane said, you're saying the evidence is valid while disclaiming it's filtering something else and a lot of other caveats. In my world, that would mean 0 data on efficacy. It would mean that the validity of that applying that data to this issue is reduced. It doesn't necessarily mean zero, but it is much less than it would be if it was without any of those caveats. It would require additional research in order to figure out how many of those caveats actually apply. That's something that I think should have been done and should be done that was not. It does give some credence to the people that early on, and again, this is something that a lot of the responses early on made a hell of a lot more sense than they do now. Sadly, we're still trying to apply the same responses from early that we are now. That doesn't fucking work. Because as you get more information, you should change your approach. You should change what you think the valid solution is. You should actually adapt to new information. We were not. We have not been, and it pisses me off that we have not been. But early on, I will absolutely defend people that were saying, I feel safer when wearing a mask. If they were wearing it properly and all that, then yeah, there is some reason to believe, there is some data backing up the idea that they could be safer. Not that they would be safer, but that they could be safer. You'd need additional data in order to say whether or not that possibility was actually something that played out or whether it was just something that was an illusion. But there was enough data to say that, yes, it is something that could be. Does that make sense?
Hey, come on now. There's people in Japan wear masks just to save themselves from viruses, so you can't make it seem like it's, solely on the COVID shit. But
And Gamerverline, what you just said is right, unless you test with that virus or a similar enough virus, which is a caveat on your statement, because you can have similar enough viruses that it still is valid. You cannot determine the percent efficacy of the usage. And because you can't determine the percent efficacy, you also have trouble determining the reduction in transmission on large. But again, that's something that it weakens the validity of the study. It does not completely nullify the validity of the study. What it says is that this could be something that helps, but we need to do more research. And the people that were going, okay, while we're dealing with this, I personally feel that this is a decent way of going about it. So they decided to wear masks. I had no problem with. The mandates, I do have a problem with. Like I said, it does not meet the level where I would be at all okay with the mandates. They were always bullshit. But the idea that masks could help, not really a problem. The people saying that the masks absolutely help even when you were wearing a mask that was just your t-shirt tied around your face, they were full of shit. The people that say that there was absolutely no efficacy, that it was clear that there was absolutely no efficacy, those people are also full of shit. Because you don't have enough data in order to be absolutely positive on either end. If you're saying that it seems like it might, sure, there's enough data to say that it seems like it might. If you're saying that, well, it probably doesn't, there's enough data to go in that direction as well. Either extreme is absurd with the data that we have. And because of that, it needed more research. We haven't done that more research. It pisses me off that we haven't done more research. The biggest problem with that, I think, is because we have some jackass who's still claiming that he is the science and is doing more harm to science than even fucking Wakefield, Seralini, Dr. Money, and the goddamn pedophile Berlin study.
Yeah,
did
he's
science.
science.
Say again?
He's a science, though. He said it.
Yeah, which pisses me off because that does more damage to science than the horrendous studies that I just mentioned did to science. The beautiful thing about science is it doesn't matter what the credentials of the person saying something are. It matters what their methodology was, if it can be replicated, and if the methodology is sound and it can be replicated, then, yeah, what they're saying, probably correct. Which is why I get so pissed off at the scientific consensus. The scientific consensus doesn't mean a goddamn thing unless it's a begrudging scientific consensus. Because if it's a begrudging scientific consensus, that means that people have been looking at it and trying to prove it incorrect. And if people have been failing to prove something incorrect, and they're finally forced to go, okay, this is the best theory that we have working right now. It might still be proven wrong, but we haven't been able to thus far, so we're going to treat it as a tentative truth. That is the only form of consensus that ever fucking mattered in science, and that's the only form of consensus that should ever matter in science. We have this goddamn society, though, where we have this fucker trying to say that he is the science. He isn't the goddamn science. He's doing harm to science by trying to claim that he's the science, because science is a fucking method. And the people trying to say, but the scientific consensus doesn't mean a goddamn thing unless it's begrudging, unless people have been trying to prove it wrong and just failing. You can get 100 scientists in a room, and if they all agree on something, just because, yeah, that sounds right enough, and they don't actually bother to check it, it doesn't fucking matter that they think that it sounds right enough. Doesn't matter if you have every scientist in the world going, yeah, no point in studying that, it sounds right. That still doesn't make it science. It still doesn't make it valid. It still doesn't matter that there's a scientific consensus in that area. It would only matter if you had hordes of scientists trying to disprove it and going, okay, yeah, fuck, we haven't been able to disprove it. That's why the theory of evolution has been accepted to the point where it has, because people kept on trying to disprove it. They failed. They failed again and again and again and again. That's what a scientific theory is. A scientific theory is something that people have tried to disprove so many times and have failed to disprove it so many times that they're forced to go, for right now, this is the best thing that we have to work on. I fucking hate that I have to say that, but it's the best thing that we have to go to work off of. So let's work with it. We'll keep on trying to point out any problems, but right now this is the best. And that's what the Newtonian gravitational theory was for a hell of a long time. And then Newtonian gravitational theory, people finally found gaps in Newtonian gravitational theory, and they were able to explain those gaps with a more complete theory. And you had the Einsteinian theory of gravity, and that was more complete. It explained things that the Newtonian theory didn't, and also it explained everything that the Newtonian theory did. In fact, when you simplified the calculations for the Einstein theory of gravity in the examples that the Newtonian theory of gravity were already working on, what you ended up with was the Newtonian calculations derived from the Einstein calculations. But there's gaps in the Einstein theory. We already kind of know that there's some gaps in the Einstein theory. So we're currently trying to develop an additional theory that goes past that theory of gravity. We don't quite have it completely panned out, so we have a shit ton of hypotheses, some of them more valid, some of them less valid, but none of them have reached the point of proper theory yet. And the whole point of theory is that theory is supposed to be when people are forced to go, fuck it, I can't disprove it right now. I've tried, but try as I might, it keeps on working. Fuck.
You know, that kind of reminds me of the couple of. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but somehow Destiny and his fucking debates popped up in my YouTube timeline, and I fell victim to watching a couple of them, and yeah, you know, it's kind of like that. It's selflessness and humility. I think that's something that a lot of these people are missing.
Yeah, people need to get used to being able to say a couple different things. People need to get used to being able to say, I don't know.
And that's okay.
And that's okay to say that you don't know something.
Hey, wait, hold on. What, isn't that the only thing I know is that I don't know?
The only thing that I know is that I know nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no shame in not knowing something because you just weren't exposed to it. There is shame in avoiding knowing something.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That should be shamed, and it should be shamed quite vociferously. There is shame in refusing to concede a point, and there should be shame in refusing to concede a point when you know that you were wrong. And this is something that you mentioned, the Destiny debates. In a lot of the people that he ends up debating, he isn't always right, but there's a bunch of examples where he's been debating someone and he's absolutely been in the right. And the person will reach a point where they have been battered back, and their only options, if they were, or their only option, if they were honest, would be to go, I was wrong in that. And that's the second thing that people need to regain the ability to say. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Not I was wrong in everything, but I was wrong in that. If you can have an idea that was made because you have an incomplete worldview. And with the information that you had at the time, you were acting in accordance with the information. Your worldview fit the information, but then someone adds that additional piece that makes your worldview no longer viable. You should be able to go, hey, thank you. I was wrong in that. But a lot of the people that he has been debating recently will flat out refuse to do that. So what they'll end up doing instead is they'll redirect to some other bit of bullshit until they're beaten back on that point. And then they'll redirect to yet another bit of bullshit. And when you say, I was wrong, it shouldn't be, you're right. I was wrong. You happy now? You're an asshole if you do that. Fuck you. If you're doing it, it should be a, hey, you're right, I was wrong. Thanks. It should be an honest, I was wrong, not a, I'm going to be in a passive-aggressive piece of shit to you. Because you just keep on harping on the fact that I was wrong. You happy now? I'll admit I'm wrong. No, that isn't how you take it. It should be, I was wrong. Done. Dusted. No problem. So, I don't know, and I was wrong. Two things that people need to relearn how to say. And also, people need to figure out that you should look at information that agrees with your point of view as thoroughly as you do information that disagrees with your point of view. And as critically as information that disagrees with your point of view. Because that goes back to there's nothing wrong with saying that you were wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying that you don't know something. There is something wrong with refusing to admit when you've been proven wrong. And there is something wrong with refusing to learn something. So when you're given a piece of information, if it agrees with you, you should look at it as critically as you do information that disagrees with you. You should try to see, okay, does this have a weakness? You should try to poke holes at it. You should try to look at the math makes sense, if there's math in it. You should try to look if the methods make sense, if it has the full methodology. You should try to look at it as if you're going, okay, is this someone quote mining? Is this someone trying to make this say something that it isn't really saying? Because if you don't, you're going to be caught up by bullshitters, because it's not just one side has bullshitters, every side has bullshitters. There's bad arguments on every side, and everyone should be working towards removing those bad arguments and removing those bad actors so that we can just have honest conversations.
Oh yeah, you're always gonna find some tainted personnel around it, but
and if it's a bad actor on your side, you should be one of the first people to call them out for being a bad actor. Because if you should never defend them, and you should be one of the people to call them out. Because if you're one of the people to call them out, people won't be able to tar you with the same brush as them. Because you'll be able to go, what the fuck are you talking about? No, I don't agree with them. I was one of the people that called them on their bullshit.
Oh yeah, well, if you're solid on that front,
Yeah.
you've nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's like there was... Everyone, of course, remembers the riots from last year and how fucked up they were. There was one scene from the riots that really made me proud, though, because it was at one of the protests. Someone was trying to turn it into a riot. They had a hammer. They were breaking up a section of the sidewalk to get rocks to throw at police. And 2 or 3 big guys from the protest saw this guy doing that. They grabbed him and they dragged him over to the police and pushed him towards the police line, saying, this fucker was breaking up the sidewalk to get rocks to throw at you guys. He's all yours. He isn't with us. And then they returned to protesting. At no point did I think that they were with that guy. At no point did I think that those big guys that did that were just there to riot and break shit up. I can disagree with them on what they were doing. I can disagree on what they think that they were doing. Because I don't think that there's a massive streak of police just hunting down black people. That's bullshit. It doesn't pan out in the stats. But you'll never hear me say that they were part of the riot, because they made it absolutely fucking clear when they did that they were not there to riot, and that they would not tolerate the people that were there to start shit. And that should be the way it is at every one of these events. If there's a protest for the right, for the left, I don't give a fuck, and there is someone who starts trying to rile up the group and start violence, the rest of the group should grab that person, drag him over to the police, and go, this fucker's causing problems, he's all yours.
Yeah.
After that rant, it is past the 2-hour mark. Shall we give our parting words and fuck off back to the server? Chat there for a little bit?
Yeah, well, I thought we were waiting for Cryptic to join back, but
he might have had a problem that he had to deal with, so he just dropped out without being able to
Oh. Well,
Or his computer might have shit the bed. Not sure which.
that's also a possibility, so can't let
But yeah,
that
it's
go.
been a bit, so I'm going to assume that he's not able to return at the time.
Well, at that end, sir, I say your discretion is, you're the head of the ship, so go ahead and call it.
Do you want to give your parting words first, then?
Sure. Um, you know, I always am grateful for you all letting me hang out with y'all and on the show.
Always
Uh,
fun.
and I want to say also a plus on this end for Hammer and Reject. Hope you both are doing good. But outside of that, for both the audience and the cast, God bless you all. I love you. I hope you all doing good.
And go ahead. Did you have something you wanted to tack on at the very end?
No, I was gonna say,
Okay, so I'll leave off with my standard of if you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you. And with that, have a good night all. The zoo is closed.